Welcome back to another episode of Reality Court. My name is Ace Fanning, host of the Sister Wives podcast, Love Should Be Multiplied, Not Divided. And I am joined by the very beautiful, very vivacious, very constipated, former Real Housewife of Miami, Anna Quincoces. Anna, how is your Cuban vajayjay today? Is it clean?
Clean and, just smelling like roses.
Guys, Anna let us know earlier this week that she says that Cuban girls wash their coochie several times a day.
At least 4.
Do we call this process anything?
I mean, in Spanish?
Yeah.
Yeah, like just my mother used to say, tienes que lavarte or lávate, like wash it. It just means wash it.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Okay, well,
but it
I'm
wasn't
happy.
in response to, you smell bad, wash it. It was just, this is what you do as a nice
Okay, it's what we
Cuban
do
girl.
as
By the way,
and
I am not saying Cuban girls have cornered the market on washing their vajayjay. I'm sure a lot of people do. I'm just saying we use a big plastic cup, and it needs to
so
happen.
every time you have to go to the bathroom, you have to fill up your cup with water and your pH balanced soap and
Vagisil. Yeah.
Oh, wow, Vagisil.
Vagisil, the soap, not the thing for itching and odor.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I'm learning so much. And as now a Cuban by association, I need to make sure that I'm washing my coochie every time.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
okay.
And you have a day, so it's easier for you.
I need to get a big cup. No, I want to do it the authentic way. I want to get the big cup. I want to do that. That's what I'm interested in doing. Oh, God. Anna, the world is crumbling around us. There is children hurt, can't hear them crying. People dying. I can't remember the words right now, but in the famous words of Black Eyed Peas in Justice, where is the love?
Yeah.
But when all of that is going on, we are here to talk about the important things.
Right.
And by important things, we mean that somebody that we once knew, somebody that I used to know, is now fighting with somebody that you know, and we're here to talk all the shit about it. Now, before we get into this, I do want to put out a what's it called when you have to warn people about something? A disclaimer.
A disclaimer. Okay.
I'd like to put out a disclaimer that everything we are talking about right now is alleged. Everything we're talking about here is fake. It's lies. It's whatever. And so,
I mean, we don't know that it's fake or it's lies. It's alleged.
Well, I'm just going to say that just because I just want to protect every corner of us. And if you have a problem with anything said here, this is all Anna's fault. So handle things with Anna.
One thing that should keep you very at ease is that your co-host is a lawyer and is associated of counsel at a firm, and we would never have to pay for defending ourselves.
Oh, good. Thank God. Because we don't have whatever that insurance
Defamation
is.
insurance, which I don't believe it is a blanket thing that allows you to say anything. Think Amber Heard. She had I forgot. It's not called anti-defamation insurance, but anyway, it's she had to pay $15 million. So it's not like that. You have to be careful.
We don't have $15 million.
No, we don't.
Guys,
but we have good lawyers, and we never say anything that we say, oh, this is fact. We always say alleged. I think that before every episode, we should say allegedly 3 times, and that's it from now on. In fact, I'm going to put a disclaimer on every episode, a written disclaimer at the bottom of our description.
We should honestly just call the show allegedly.
Yeah.
But if you're going to sue me, just know, I've got, a Subway gift card and a couple of TJ Maxx gift cards, and that's it, guys. That's it. Okay,
yeah.
Just leave us alone.
We won't talk about the cabin.
No. It's just my TJ Maxx gift card.
You're doing all the work yourself.
I know.
Yeah, it's not like you have a home in Southampton like my friend Guy.
Let's get down to business to defeat
the Huns.
Bum, 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 you must be swift as a raging fire. Sorry. I sometimes just get into that
mode. You could do Broadway.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so what do we know? So
I'm actually going to be the next Roxy Hart. Just so you know.
Are you? Well, I mean,
they asked me. They reached out and they said, listen, we've been hearing you on Reality Court. We need a big name for Roxy Hart coming up. We've had Lisa Rinna. We've had Erica Jane. We've had Ariana. Like, next up, Ace Fanning. So I've actually started practicing already.
Oh, good. How's your high kick?
Yes. I
How
got
do you
a
look
very...
at a fishnet?
Good. Fishnet is not a problem. No, okay. It just the bustier is a little bit tough because I do have like I'm gonna look like a busted can of biscuits on the bottom. Right. It's all gonna come out there. So
right.
But my boobs are good, so I'm fine with that.
Get the chicken cutlets, the silicone chicken cutlets, and keep it all together, and then just push everything, all the man boobs to the top.
Okay.
You know, and then put a little bit of shimmer. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to tuck too. You know.
Oh yeah, you gotta tuck like Buffalo Bill.
Yeah, guys. Okay, we are talking about the alleged fight between allegedly Kelly Dodd and allegedly that name that we do not speak of, David Yontef.
David Yontef.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. Allegedly.
It's gotten nasty.
It's getting nasty. Now, talk to me about how this fight started.
Okay.
And of course, Patrick and Paul are involved.
Of course, they're involved. And you know, so David had Patrick and Paul on the show. And just as a side note, unrelated to this, I decided to listen to it because, and the subtext of the entire thing was me. Honestly.
Oh, really?
Seriously. He said my name once or twice, but really every time he would say anything, I could tell it was about me. Then somehow they got into the conversation about
Cam, if you're listening, I would love for you to take a clip from the show and prove to all of us that he's not talking at all about Anna. She's just very narcissistic. Thank you. Insert clip now. Thank you.
I'm telling you, he was saying certain things that I know he meant to me.
Okay, yes.
And he actually didn't say anything about you, or maybe, I don't know. Anyway,
you know what? That's the good news about being a little bitch is like he doesn't even remember my name, so.
Well, you and your fart jokes.
Yeah. Yeah, my fart jokes.
Anyway, so Patrick and Paul went there to gossip, you know, as they do. And he asked them about ChumpCon. They wanted to talk about ChumpCon. And he said, I heard Kelly Dodd was there and she didn't even get paid. And they go, no, Kelly got paid. And she goes, yeah, but Rick Leventhal didn't get paid. And they just started talking about it. And then Patrick and Paul said that Rick Leventhal was there just to hold Kelly up because she was always drunk.
Oh, yikes.
You know?
Okay.
And so then somebody sent this to Kelly and she found out. So in her, on her show, The Daily Smash, she called Patrick and Paul live and confronted them on it.
Yeah.
And they defended themselves. And there's something that's happened with all these chumps is that they've become very close after ChumpCon. They've created like this bond. They think they're all blood brothers and stuff.
Like
and
an orgy kind of situation.
It's really weird. It's like I can just imagine them like Louis and like the whatever with the sweaty and say, I love you. You know, that's going to happen soon. But anyway, they agreed.
That's going to happen after we do Reality Court Con as well.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
And so she made up with Patrick and Paul and said that David could never destroy their friendship and that David was a little bitch and that David this and that David that. And then she threatened to beat David up. That he's a pussy. You know, don't know exactly the word.
Allegedly.
But no. Well, I think she did threaten to beat him up.
Allegedly.
And then he said that he was going to sue her for threats and lies.
Okay.
And that he was going to come after her. And
can you go right into just suing someone for that, or like don't you have to get a restraining order and then you have to have the police involved?
Know that
and then
first of all, a threat to hurt. Like I think you get a restraining order today.
Yeah, it doesn't sound suable.
Whatever he says. That she has said and then he further claimed that he has a lot of money. She says he's a loser with a trust fund that's not even real money. Like the amount of money he has is not real because like her friends that are trust fund babies have like gazillions of dollars. And he also said that that he has millions of dollars and then Kelly and Rick were grifters and that they had no money. He says over and over again that they have no money. And basically, I think David has never liked Kelly, and Kelly has never liked David. There has been a lot of conversations on their show that David is this joke of a guy that started his podcast by standing outside, Watch What Happens Live, begging for pictures with housewives. And I have heard that from a lot of people.
I didn't know that from before.
Well, I did. That
Here's the thing. I want to go back in time just a smidge. Because when you approached me about doing this show, you were like, oh, this guy, he's awesome. Allegedly, he's great. Allegedly, you're going to like him. And now it's like, oh, I did hear these things about him before.
No. That was after. I heard the thing after. But then it made sense to me because his show is called Behind the Velvet Rope. And it's almost like he got behind the velvet rope.
Yeah.
And, you know, he is a lawyer by training.
So am I.
Right.
That's why you reached out to me.
He didn't want to practice. And, you know, he had wealthy parents and had the luxury of standing outside, Watch What Happens Live. But it does make sense with the title. The truth is that over time, he's grown into a decent-sized podcast. He does do 9 episodes a week. He has told me that himself. And, of course, that helps you do well. He loves it. And I didn't think he was a bad person. I thought he was a little... I don't know. He admits to having dissociative disorder.
Allegedly.
No, he said it to us.
Allegedly. He said that.
Not allegedly. He said it. Because I called him a sociopath. And he said, no, he has dissociative disorder.
I'm a sociopath.
No, you're not.
Allegedly.
No, you're not. No, you're not. But
okay, so... They're at odds with one another.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is all going down on the Daily Smash with Rick and Kelly.
It's constant. It's constant.
I'm invested in this because it really does feel like it brings me back to Kelly calling Shane a little twerp. You know, it's like, this is so incredibly stupid. This is not worth...
She called him a twerp?
Shane from Orange County, not Shane.
Shane, not Shane Douglas. Oh, God.
Yes,
okay.
No. Shane from Emily's husband, Emily Simpson's husband. She called him a little twerp. And it's like, we're really going at odds because he's saying they don't have money. She's saying that he doesn't really have money. Like, can you imagine... getting to be in a place where people are like, you don't actually have the money you say you do. You know, like people coming after me after I said, like, listen, I've got TJ Maxx gift cards and a Subway gift card to my name. And let me actually tell you something. I lied. I don't have a Subway gift card to my name. I do have a Taco Bell one. I've loaded it into my app, so I don't even think you can get it now because now it's just like Taco Bell currency. But like, I did lie. Okay, I'm gonna be truthful about it. I don't have a Subway gift card.
About what they have. Yeah.
And so, like, it's so relatable to me because I can't imagine being in a place where I have enough money that people are questioning it.
Right.
That sounds fun.
I do know that he does have some money. I do know that he bought 2 big properties. And I know this because during that time, we talked all the time. I'm a former real estate attorney. We talked about all of that. He bought an apartment at the Thompson Hotel in New York, like a condotel kind of thing. Yes, it's small, but he paid like $1.9 million for it. And then got a designer to completely redo it. And then he was renting a place in Sag Harbor and decided maybe I should buy it and then rent it out during whatever season that people pay a lot of money, and then it could become an investment. That's all I really know, and it all kind of coincided after his father died, because his mother had died a long time ago. So
his mom died a long time ago?
Yeah, I think
allegedly.
It's very easy to find these death certificates if you know where to look. So yeah, I think that
is he an only child allegedly?
No, he has a sister. So whatever money he got, which. He never, listen, we tried when we had him on the show, when he was part of our show. We're asking him, are you rich? How much money do you have? And he wouldn't say. But his sister got a part of it, and he has nieces and nephews, and I'm sure that was a fight. He also has like expensive shit, you know. I told you I saw him with like a rose gold Rolex with diamonds and shit that, I don't know, it's worth like $100 and something thousand. So I don't know exactly what the deal is. I know that Kelly was once married to somebody that has a lot of money, had a lot of money, or has a lot of money. And
the LeapFrog guy.
Okay, I don't know anything about that. Can you tell me?
You don't know about the LeapFrog?
No, he invented that?
I don't really know for sure what he did with LeapFrog, but Michael, her ex, Jolie's dad.
She has 2 exes, by the way.
Oh, well, I think it's Michael did something with like LeapFrog. Like maybe he invented LeapFrog, or he was in the founding fathers of LeapFrog. I don't know, but you know,
like Todd with Palm Pilot.
Yes.
That's big money.
Big money to have. I mean, a LeapFrog, they're not cheap. You know, you got to go get a kid a LeapFrog so they can learn some different language. I obviously didn't grow up with a LeapFrog. That's why I'm so stupid.
Was she married for more than 10 years? Let's call Up and Adam and find out.
Well, listen, I didn't grow up with a LeapFrog because, you know, clearly I'm an idiot. My parents were not willing to spend money on that. I had to go to those special reading classes. But for a long time they thought I just had bad vision, but it was like, no, you're just an idiot, you know?
Right.
Hello, Kelly.
How are you?
So I want to, we figured that we should just go straight to the source about this entire situation regarding David Yontef. But I was just talking about LeapFrog, which I could have made this entirely up. But don't you come from the LeapFrog family?
I do. My ex-husband was the CEO of LeapFrog. That's why I live in Hong Kong.
I got it right.
She lived for 2 years in Hong Kong.
Oh.
Well, like a lot more than that collectively, because he had offices there, and I would go for months at a time.
Oh my goodness. Now, not to stray away from the LeapFrog of it all, I do love talking about people's money, obviously, but I want to talk about someone else's money here today, and that is one Mr. David allegedly Yontef.
Now let's just call him Soy Boy.
Soy Boy? Why Soy Boy?
Why Soy Boy?
Because he acts like a little girl.
Oh, a soy
like
boy.
He has soy instead of meat.
No, look up what Soy Boy is.
Oh God, let me.
I am so out of it.
You love doing this, Ace. You love doing Urban Dictionary shit.
Soy
and Ace is young. Like
boy.
I wouldn't know it, but like Kelly knows every '90s reference and like.
Oh, shoot. Okay, Soy Boy is a prerogative. I don't know what that word is. Prerogative term. Sometimes used in online communities.
You mean derogative?
We're all dumb here. We all need a fucking LeapFrog. Pejorative terms sometimes used.
It means derogatory.
In online communities, describe men perceived to be lacking masculine characteristics. So,
Ace, you're a soy boy.
No.
Soy boys represent.
No, Ace is not a soy boy. Ace is not a soy boy. It's an FYI.
Thank you, Kelly.
Okay,
now, Kelly, we've been discussing this fight between you and David Yontef, and where are things at right now? You're currently being sued. You're being held up against the wall. Like, what is happening? He's threatening to release your sex tape. Like, where are we at?
Well, I wish I had one. Where is it?
Yeah, exactly.
I would totally watch you and Rick have sex.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I've never had a sex tape out there. Unless
no, but I would totally watch it if you did.
Unless he's doing it via AI. I've never done a sex tape.
You never know. I used to ask my girls, when are you going to release a sex tape? When can I become a momager, you know?
Dude, if I had a sex tape out there, I would be doing OnlyFans making $100,000 a day.
You could do OnlyFans and make a lot of money. I've seen you in a bikini, girl. I've seen it.
I'm just saying, if I had that out there, I mean, who makes up lies like that?
Oh, I did. I just made that up.
Oh.
But I've submitted my sex tapes many times. No one's picking them up. It's like, God damn. Okay, so
you're a promising, attractive guy.
Oh wow, thank you.
Oh my God, you made his whole week.
Oh my God, I'm not a soy boy today, ladies.
No.
So Kelly,
you have masculine characteristics.
Thank you. Wow. Oh, that's the hottest thing anyone's ever said to me. Kelly, where are you currently at with this gentleman and his situation?
I don't think he's a gentleman. I think he's a
soy boy.
Snake. I think he's a snake. I think he's a soy boy. I'm just shocked that this guy wants to be on a platform, wants people to look at him. He can attack other women. He can attack Anna, me, women, constantly bashing women, Hispanic women. What is he? Is he against Hispanic women? I don't know. Is he Latinas? Is he racist? Is he? I don't know. What is that? I don't know. Let's when people like that are talking, they're the ones who are the racists. They're the ones who are the haters. And now all of a sudden, he can't handle being a public figure. Now he is saying, when you are a public figure, it is very, very, very hard to sue over defamation. It's almost nearly impossible, okay? So he wants to have this platform for himself. And once somebody comes after him, like he does everybody else, he can dish it out, but he can't take it, right? So, like that you can't say, oh my God, she hurt my feelings. She's saying lies about me.
He's made a lot of enemies though over the years. Like,
everybody hates him. Teresa Giudice hates him. Vicky Gunvalson hates him. Vicky can't stand that guy.
No, she can't.
She hates him. Yeah. He doesn't have one housewife, I don't think, that likes him that I've met. I don't know one.
I think he only has that friend Sarah Fraser. That's the only. Is that her name?
Sarah Fraser.
Yeah. I don't even know who she is.
She's a podcaster. She's not a bad podcaster,
I've never met her in my life.
Yeah. I just feel like he is somebody that his soul is broken. You know what I mean?
Wait,
allegedly, his soul is broken.
I just want to know, why he keeps talking about how much money is. Bro, you don't have a plane. You don't have a super yacht. You have multiple homes, yes, but they're teeny tiny little homes. They're not $20 million homes. You're not rolling huge, like all over the place. Like, calm down, okay?
Yeah.
There's always somebody's going to have more than you, and there's always going to be somebody who has less than you. I've had a ton of money, okay, before. You can Google me. I don't put emphasis on, I had a $5 million home almost 10 years ago. It's almost worth like $10 million down Corona Del Mar. I hated living in that beautiful home that I built myself. I'd rather live in this house in Palm Desert than live in that beautiful mansion that I had with Michael Dodd. I'd rather be in love and have all these. That to me is having money right there.
But he doesn't really have anybody, allegedly. You know what I mean?
That's what's sad. He has to. It's a moot point, right? Like Like what are you doing? Like, why are you bringing out how much money you have? Gazillions of dollars? No, you don't, bro. No,
but this was in response. Like, did you what do you call it? What do you say that when you told him you wanted to have a duel with him? Did you challenge him to a duel?
So I said I would love to have a competition because I was going to Johnny Bananas boxing thing, and I said I would love to challenge him in a boxing match because my dad used to have us do boxing matches when we were little kids. I'm Hispanic. My dad wanted me to be tough. I had 2 brothers and a ton of cousins, and we'd always compete boxing. Like, we always watch boxing. That's what we like to do. And I said I want to challenge him. He came back and said that he's going to report me to YouTube because I was acting on an act of violence towards him. An act of violence. Yeah, so I was. It's a competition. We're in a ring. It's not MMA.
Okay, also, I mean, he wants to try and sue you now for whatever. I'm like, you can't sue someone for a threat. Like, you can get a restraining order against someone for what you perceive to be
what is he claiming the lawsuit is for? Is it for the threat?
I don't know.
Deems the threat?
I didn't threaten him. I challenged him to a competition.
Right. No, I'm not saying that it is a threat. I'm saying, is that the reason he's claiming that he's going to sue you?
I don't know what his claim is. And claiming that he has a gazillion dollars is laughable.
But he says that in his words. He says, I have a gazillion dollars.
I have a gazillion dollars. I'm sorry.
Have you heard from any attorneys yet on his side?
You even got 20 million, because I know you have a sister, and I know you have nieces, and I know if that indeed is true, then you wouldn't be living in a 1-bedroom in Sag Harbor. I can tell you that. Okay. You wouldn't be renting a place in LA. You wouldn't be buying a $700 square foot home in the Townsend. Like, calm down, okay?
You would probably be able to drive a Kia Telluride, okay? But you don't.
Like Ace, yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a house in Aspen. He's not rolling like what my friends roll. Like, shut up.
Right.
You're not rolling because you're all flash. You're all show and no go. Like, come on. And what happened to you? What happened to your law degree? What happened to that? He's suspended. Who's suspended? He's not practicing law because he can't, because he's dumb.
Allegedly, he's dumb.
Well, according to this is what I do know, that I once looked it up. That
there's a difference between having a high EQ and a high IQ, and he's got freaking. He has maybe a high IQ, but his EQ is.
See,
cool.
Ace, your IQ is low, but you have a high EQ.
Thank
I really
you.
do think that you're.
I appreciate that.
Pretty much.
Kelly's going, yeah.
But you get further in life with a high EQ.
Oh, for sure. If you know
Look
how
at how
to,
many people have autism that are super, super smart, but they're they're socially awkward, like Tamra. Sexual.
Kelly, I think honestly, my lack of IQ comes from not growing up with a LeapFrog. I think I could have lived a different life.
Afford it.
No, we couldn't afford it at the time. We were so poor we couldn't afford ourselves a LeapFrog. But I think that, Michael Dodd could have made a big difference in my life had I had a LeapFrog.
Yeah.
Listen, so I want to tell you what I did discover, because I like to do a little research. So this is all alleged, but I went on LinkedIn and wanted to see where he had practiced law. And he shows that he's mostly been an HR person. He did tell me once that he worked in HR for Martha Stewart Omnimedia. I haven't found any evidence of that, but I don't know that that's not true. What I do know is that if you go on the records of the New York bar, he does show as delinquent and has been suspended twice. The suspensions could be anything from not paying your dues to not finishing your whatever education, continuing education credits. I'm not saying it's for any important reason, but it also says he's a member of the Connecticut bar, and I could not find anywhere where he sat for or is a member of the Connecticut bar. But again, I am not a research guru.
Specialist. So, no, you're
that's
not.
all I know. And he does talk a lot about being a lawyer. If somebody comes after me, I'm going to be really involved in whatever lawsuit it is, because I am a lawyer and I did practice and I do understand everything. I wouldn't represent myself. I would have my firm do it, but I think that he likes to talk a big game. He always has.
It's, my first husband, Scott Silva, he's a judge now, but he was my first husband. We were all together all through college. I married him when I was 25 years old. Divorced him when I was 28, met Michael Dodd. But that guy was a lawyer. You can put that guy is a judge now. He's a lawyer. Where has he been, and he has his own law firm. Where has this guy been practicing law?
No,
Where?
I don't think he practiced. I
He's
didn't see anything.
He's a clown. He keeps talking about how he was a lawyer. Where? You're a pencil pusher, bro.
And what about this whole thing about him waiting outside what happens live? Did you witness that firsthand?
Yes, Rick did too. Rick witnessed it. He was outside of Watch What Happens Live, like a creeper. It was creepy, okay? And he does that with all the housewives. We all got together and we're like, who is this weirdo? This guy is giving me the creeps. He's stalking and lurking outside of Watch What Happens Live, trying to get relationships with the housewives because he has no life of himself. or nothing. He has to live vicariously through Housewives because he has nothing else going on with himself. I mean, it was pretty pathetic. I mean, I was like, ew, who is this guy? Rick goes, then that David, and then he kept like emailing us. I mean, Rick goes, we got to get those emails. He kept emailing persistently. And I'm like, is that
to go
weirdo,
on his podcast?
stalker, lurker that was outside of watching Housewives? And Rick goes, yes, that's him. He does it with all the Housewives.
I know Andy doesn't, allegedly Andy doesn't like him.
Psycho.
Well, when we used to have to record with him, it was always like, oh, yeah, when I had that sleepover at my good friend Alexis Bellino's house, and I was like,
yeah,
who cares? Let's have a flex to be at Alexis Bellino's house, you know?
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh
my God. Ace had a lot of fun with him. I did have fun during that podcast because it's just that you were, oh my God, you nonstop giving him a hard time about
allegedly
his
I hated him. Man.
Yeah. It wasn't a good situation.
The guy, you can see the guy was probably a real dork and awkward and creepy when he was younger and maybe in high school. He was probably like one of those guys that are like, you know, watching video games and, you know, wanting to blow up things. And he was kind of like, and then he's like, he continued that. And then he continued that in his adulthood. Creepy, lurker, stalker, bashing women, getting involved in the housewife stuff. Like, get a life.
Get a life. I can't stand when guys are getting in the housewife stuff.
Even though I have Rick watch it.
I asked him once if he thought...
Even though I have Rick watch it.
Where is Rick?
He has gout.
Oh my God, Ken gets gout.
He does?
Yeah, he has to take something called allopurinol, something like that.
Yeah. If Rick has to go call the doctor right now and get a prescription.
No.
Oh God.
Too much meat.
Too much meat?
You know, it's things that raise your uric acid levels. This only happens to old people. You people wouldn't know.
No, it's bad.
But anyway, I asked him once if he thought... I asked him if he was a sociopath because I didn't see a lot of empathy from him. But he admitted that he had dissociative disorder.
What is that?
Allegedly.
It's similar, but it's not quite as bad. But he did admit that. You know, I really liked him for a long time. I did. I was going through
any friends? Does he have any friends?
No, I don't think he has. Well, he has some guy friends that I've met, but I think he spends a good amount of time alone. And
he's really good friends with PK. Him and PK had dinner once.
With PK, yeah, he's
one
gone
time.
out with
Anytime
PK.
he's interacted with somebody, they're a good friend of mine.
Right, and then Luann. He says Luann is one of his best friends.
Me and Kelly Dodd, we go way back. Like we're super close. We grew up together basically because I had her on the
Is that
podcast
your
at one time.
pickleball court?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're at the pickleball house.
Yeah, I'm at the pickleball house.
I love it. Because you have a gazillion dollars.
That's right.
I lost her.
Well, guys, Kelly is currently being silenced by David Yontef and his team. They have come in allegedly and taken her down. They have shut down her internet connection at the pickleball house in Palm Springs. If you want to find out more about Kelly, go check her out on The Daily Smash with Rick and Kelly. But if you want to find out,
we brought you the source. You know,
we did bring you the source.
We bring you the source,
and
everything
she had a
we
lot
said was
to say.
Allegedly.
But here's what I will say, guys. You know, Anna, doing this show with you has been such a blast. Getting to spend time with you has been such a blast, and getting to meet all these interesting people has been such a blast.
Definitely.
And I love getting to come on.
Me?
No, I'm giving my gratefulness, you know.
Okay, I'm so grateful too.
What happened?
Yes. Oh,
yeah.
She's back. David Yontef's team can't silence her for long.
We just promoted your show. We just
Sorry.
That's okay. We just said The Daily Smash with Kelly and Rick.
So why do you think that all he has is talking about his money? Why do you think that is?
Because that's all he has.
I don't.
You know what I mean?
I think it's a big, huge insecurity when people.
It is an insecurity, but I think he's a lonely person.
He's a lonely person.
He's a lonely person.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he dies alone with his microphone and what's left of his inheritance.
And his cat.
Allegedly. Wow.
Allegedly.
He has cats?
No, he doesn't have cats. He doesn't like animals at all.
I was going to say, I don't think he would allegedly like animals.
And he hates children.
Okay.
That's why I asked him if he was a sociopath. That's why he's
a Jeffrey Dahmer type, allegedly.
He has dissociative disorder.
Not to sidetrack this entire conversation, but Kelly, how is Jolie doing? It's been so long since we've seen her on TV.
On Thursday.
Oh, is she? How old is she now?
Trip? You're going on a girls' trip, aren't you?
How old is she?
Jolie's turning 19 June 24th.
Holy shit!
I know.
Time 19. Flies.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep, and she's going.
She's going to school.
She's going back to school in Paris again. She wants to go, I think, all 4 years. She really wants to learn French. I don't know why. She should be learning Spanish, but whatever.
That LeapFrog money.
It's a nice life, you know?
Yeah.
Very nice life.
Got a great life.
Okay, Anna, you said Kelly's going on a girl's trip?
Yeah, weren't you going on a girls' trip?
Well, next week I go to San Francisco for my girlfriend's 50th. And then I'm going the following week, I'm going to Greece on an ultimate girls trip. Not for
Kelly, darn it.
But for like my girlfriends.
Nice.
Kelly, I want to get some clarification from you with another dispute that happened a long time ago, but you were on the front lines.
We say hi, Rick?
Is he here?
Rick, say hi.
It's Rick Leventhal.
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
How are you
How
feeling?
are you, Rick?
I have gout.
I know Ken has that too.
I'm old.
Allopurinol is what you have to take. You guys are the same age.
Allopurinol.
Is he bad? Is his bad?
Allopurinol.
He has flare-ups.
Oh yeah, I take that normally.
Yeah,
you know,
that's what he has to take.
Here, right?
I don't know how to make it straight.
It's not bad right now, but well,
Rick,
I hope you feel
we've
better.
been hearing a lot of rumblings about your gout, and I just want to say on behalf of everyone, we are praying for you. We are hoping you pull through with this gout.
Thoughts and
prayers.
Know,
I am such a man that even though despite my gout, I went out there and finished sheetrock in my new studio and then painted it with gout. I didn't try and sit on the sidelines and ask someone else to do my work for me. I got in there and did it myself. I got dirty. I was in pain, but I played through the pain. I worked through the pain. That's how I roll.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are mad!
Just like David Yontef.
Yes. Yeah, and we're going to eat some beef jerky later. Yeah. Oh, my God. Well, guys, thoughts and prayers out to Rick Leventhal and the gout. Woo.
Wait, what did you want to ask me? You wanted to ask me something.
I wanted to ask you, because you were on the front lines of this situation. And the situation that I'm talking about, and I know that it's so old, but I've always wanted to know, like, from you, the Megan versus Heather situation in which it all went down at your house.
Yeah.
Like, was it just that everyone was really drunk, or was it as dramatic as it sounded?
No, it was very dramatic. It was really dramatic. I think what happened was, Megan had some things about Heather that bothered her, and I think it finally blew up. And it was crying, it was like a lot of hysterics. We were trying to calm things down. I don't know. It's just, I didn't really want to get involved in it. You know what I mean? At the time, because I felt really sorry for Heather, but then I knew what Megan was talking about, because Heather, whom I like, she does some things to people that are, sometimes she always wants to be with the famous person in the room. Like, that's what, she'll ignore you to be with the famous person.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think that if she was in a conversation with you, Kelly, and I walked in, she's immediately going to go to me, and I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm. Perfect sense. Yes.
If you ask her, hey, how do I go about doing a podcast? She will be like, I had to figure it out. It's like she won't help you.
She's a gatekeeper.
It's just she came over to my house and she stayed here, and she's never offered for me to stay at her house. It's things like that. Why I see. For instance, thing. She should have never brought those earrings that Krista gave her on vacation. She should immediately return them back. She shouldn't have brought those earrings. I don't care if they're real, if they're fake, or whatever. You just don't do that. You know what I mean? And
my thought process with the whole earrings,
when it fell off, and we knew where it fell off, she didn't want to go back and go get it. There's things like that where Heather lacks in a lot of things, but she's also really funny. She's fun to hang out with. But there's things that you see why Jeff and Megan were mad at her. I see it.
Are you shocked that Megan and Heather have made up and now they're girlies?
I'm sorry?
I said, are you shocked now to find out that Megan and Heather have made up and they're girlies?
Was I shocked by it? No, because they worked it out, they talked it out, and sometimes you have a difference of opinion on things. And for instance, when I had her come over my house, I said, hey, okay, pay $300 to my cleaning lady. My cleaning lady, I've had this house rented out for 3 years. She goes, okay, how do you think they left it? 1 to what do you think? 1 to 10? Never has she ever said that in the history of having this house almost 5 years. She said an 11. She left my house at 11. An 11. Heather.
What?
Yeah. And
what? How do grown adults leave a house at 11?
Heather,
what are you even doing?
I asked Heather, hey, listen, my cleaning lady said that you left my house a disaster, and she's never complained about any tenant ever, ever, ever. And she doesn't know who Heather was. She didn't know that I rented it out to my friend. She didn't know, right? And I didn't rent it out to her. I let her stay here. I just said pay my cleaning lady. And I said to her, that's what she said. And she's like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I thought I could have left it this way. And then I guess on Airbnb, she was the worst rated on there. And on Airbnb, Heather was voted the worst tenant.
Oh wow!
And so I talked to her about it. I'm like, this is what she's like. Well, I gave you $300 because she could clean it. I don't know. She's like, when I go to a hotel, I don't pick up after myself. And we worked it out. We worked out the differences. So it's things like that. And I think Heather and Megan worked out their differences.
Gotcha. Okay, well, you heard it here first. Heather McDonald loves a pigsty. Guys, you can find Kelly Dodd on the Daily Smash. You can find her
on Patreon.
You can find her on Patreon. You can find her in Palm Springs at her pickleball house. She's everywhere. And hopefully one day we can see you
San Francisco next week.
Oh, she'll be in San Francisco. She's going on her Ultimate Girls Trip.
Right.
Hopefully we see her on Bravo's Ultimate Girls Trip. Kelly, thank you so much for joining us. I apologize that you are currently dealing with this alleged David Yontef allegedly business, but I do speak on behalf of all of us when I say that we are all holding Rick in our thoughts and prayers with his gout.
And by the way, congrats on the nod of approval you got from Tinx. That's a big deal. She told Andy she wanted you back.
Jeff wants me to be on the show with Tinx.
She's so cool.
That would be good.
She's really cool.
I like
that the Foster sisters are doing, from her book, they're making a movie.
Oh my gosh,
yeah,
really?
It's a big deal.
Tinx?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
You gotta read her book.
I've never seen her before. I didn't realize how pretty she was.
She's pretty, but she's also very, she blew up during COVID. Blew up.
Yeah, and she was a TikToker?
Yeah. Right? Ace?
Dude,
Tinx?
you can...
She's a social media person. It's she's on everything. But she's a big deal. And
she's a big deal.
That for her to shout you out. I mean, that's a big deal.
And then she wrote a book that has done really, really well, and the Foster sisters bought the rights to it.
Oh, wow. Who's the Foster sisters?
The David Foster's daughters. So Sarah Foster, she goes on Jeff. Sarah and Aaron Foster.
Oh, the daughter, my favorite daughter girls.
Yes.
Oh, yes, duh. I know that.
Yeah, but
okay.
Yeah.
Kelly knows David Foster. They had a run-in once.
David Foster.
I was with Heather McDonald and Lena Black.
That's one of my favorite clips.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Kelly, for joining us today at Reality Court. We are finding you innocent on all charges.
All charges.
Anna, you are still guilty of being constipated. And don't forget, guys, go out and be like the Colombian women and
Cuban women.
Cuban women, and wash your vagina multiple times a day. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yep, right? That's a Latino thing.
Yeah.
Do you do that too, Kelly? You wash it multiple times a day?
Oh, yeah. Keep it fresh.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Keep it fresh. There you go.
Yep, that's what Anna said. Oh, all right. Yeah. Well, I'm off to go clean my coochie as well. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Cam. Thank you, Hurrdat. Thank you, Pat. And as always, thank you, Beyonce. Leave us a 5-star review. Nothing less. We're not looking to better ourselves. We just want to keep being the same piece of shit we've always been. Always. Thank you. Court is officially adjourned. Goodbye.
Innocent.
Innocent.